on my channel before and it just stopped. I had technical difficulties. My phone failed. Man, I've been trying to pass this RV for the longest time. It keeps speeding up and slowing down. Hey, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. 16 viewers, thank you for stopping by. People are so stupid. Trying to pass me on the right. You can see that I'm about to pass this RV, but it still drives up. Let his problems be his problems. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button before you leave. Just do me a favor. I'd appreciate it. It doesn't take nothing out of you. But it helps me out a lot. It helps get the channel out to more people, and yeah, I get more content in. I do these videos while I'm driving, just kind of to pass the time, but more content is when I'm done driving, and I'll have like a conversation with you, and we can really get to know each other, and you know, maybe you got things you want to talk about. If you just popped on, go ahead and give me a like, subscribe if you feel like it. Yeah, we'll talk about the highway, we'll talk about what happens at truck stops at night. It's always fun. A lot of lizards, truck drivers fighting each other. That's one of the most hilarious things you can see out here. Crazy stuff happens on the road. Everything bad happens out here first. Eventually it goes into town. Let me know where you're from. I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. My over-the-road truck driver gets to know me. I'm silly as hell. Love telling jokes. Love not being serious. Grew up in Germany. I was a boxer at one time. That's a pretty fun time in my life. All the 90s and the early 2000s. I boxed in Germany. A great way to get your aggressions out. I just loved it. I loved everything about boxing. The gym, everyone's little ego that they had walking around like they're so. It's pretty fun for me. We would have like sparring sessions outside. Set the ring up and we invite the crowd in. You know, have them sign a contract. They get in the ring with me and they box around a couple rounds with me. I'd give them a round, let them beat on me a little bit, you know, just covering up, and then, you know, second round, alright, you're gonna get it now. I never hurt anybody, I never wanted to do that, just put it on them a little bit. Then afterwards, we try to get them to join boxing team. You know, there's a way of generating revenue for the boxing club. But in practice is where we was like, you want to be a boxer, you want to box for real and not playing around. German boxing team. No Germans on the team. It's all Russian, Turkish, and American. No Germans. There was a priest on our boxing team. Well, he was just training. He never did any sparring or anything, but he did train. Had a pretty cool little team there. It was fun. I came over here to America I tried to start my boxing club over here in Dayton. Dayton County. DCBC. Dayton County Boxing Club. Trained one person who ended up going into MMA, and I mean, he did pretty well for a while, but another guy went to Charlotte and he boxed over there for a little bit and then got himself a family, and that was it with boxing. But a lot of the guys, they were kids, man, got them off the street, give them something to do every day. Hey, don't be afraid to hit that like button or subscribe if you're feeling like it. There you go. Thank you, whoever did that. Appreciate that. Just double tap the screen. It's easy. Click, click. Who that? Yes. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Every time I get on YouTube and I'm like surfing through the channels, I do what everybody does, spend a couple seconds there and listen to them. But I always give a like, and if it's something that I enjoy, then I'll subscribe to it. But I always give somebody a like, because I know what it does for their channel. It helps build it. The more likes, subscriptions that you get, the more YouTube puts it out there for more people to see. And it is not cool sitting here talking to myself. That crazy man behind the wheel. But I like it when people jump on and we can have a conversation. I like to get to know where people are from, let people know about me. Yeah. Later on, whenever I'm done driving, I'm going to post a picture of this truck that caught on fire. It burned it to the ground, man. I'm telling you, like, to the ground. You think these trucks, when they catch on fire, sometimes we're hauling flammable materials. The fire department can't get out onto the highway quick enough. $17 miles away from Joplin, Missouri. The only thing I can think of that is famous from Joplin is the tornado that came through and destroyed the town. I'm sure there's something famous about Joplin that I don't know about. Janis Joplin? I don't know. Thank you. I will drive safe. I don't have much longer to drive, actually. Scrub my truck down tonight. It's a cool car. Convertible BMW. Z4. Turn my yacht in for that. Thumbs up, Sir Jeff. Two of them. Out on Highway 44, headed west. Almost in Oklahoma. I don't know why, right when I turn on, there's like a surge of people. You get like 30 people that come on all at once, and then everybody leaves. What are they talking about? I'm going to scrub my truck down tonight. Just take everything out, just deep clean everything. I like to keep the truck organized. I don't like stuff everywhere. It makes me stressed out. I kind of get depressed, man. If things aren't in order, it's just, it makes me have a bad day. Everything's put back where it's supposed to be, and man, what is going on today? It's a cool car day today. A whole bunch of badass cars out today. I don't even know what kind of car that was. Looked like a spaceship on wheels. I saw a Z4 BMW. That is a sweet ass car. I'm gonna see how much that costs. Seen the Lamborghini this morning, that Z4, and that car that just went by, I have no idea what it was. Some kind of, looked like a spaceship. I don't know what kind of car it was. Sir Jeff. I like it when people call me Sir Jeff. Master. Call me Master Jeff. Ivy, do you know who Sir Mix-a-Lot is? Little in the middle, but she got much back. Sweet person. Hang on to it. That's what I'm gonna do. Welcome to my boring life. Just sit around and drive all around the place. Just checking out the highways. Okay, good night. Somebody sleepwalking or sleep talking, man, that's some funny shit. It's kind of scary too. They're unpredictable. You don't know what they're going to do. Sleepwalking and sleep talking, that's something else there. sit back and listen. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm tired of caring what people think about me. Fuck. Just not pretty enough. I've seen some people, they just come on Facebook, they don't say nothing. They just sit there and just be pretty. Just come to visit their channel. I want to laugh and have a good time. Pretend that we're friends. Tonight on UFC, we got Ronda Rousey fighting again. I don't know what it is about her, man. I just don't like her. I don't like her. She sure does know how to get you in the armbar. It's the only way she could win a fight. Hey fella, go walking on the highway. She's fighting Gina Cerrone, something like that. My guess is the fight is more hype than fight. Uh-oh. Somebody had a serious crash. Damn. funny shit with people. They get so mad at it. Get hardware. 5 hours. I got into Oklahoma. Trying to find a place to pull over. like sand and rocky riverside, like little stones. And we lived next to a military base. One that back in the day separated the American side from the Native American side. And there were constant battles with Kaw Indian. Well, me and my brother Alan, we'd walk up and down these riverbanks and we'd look for arrowheads and Indian artifacts, and we found so much stuff, man. Just crazy amount of Native American artifacts. This one time Alan come up to me, he's got his hand clenched, he's like, guess what I found? I'm like, what? He opened his hand and it was a perfect black arrowhead. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect. And I said, oh cool, let me see that. I looked at it and I said, oh, that ain't shit. I just dropped it on the ground. And I thought it was just gonna hit the sand and be okay, but it didn't. It hit a rock and it shattered. He was so pissed off at me. But so from that time on, everything I found I gave to him, and I found a lot of stuff. I probably found more stuff than he did. But I never really forgave myself for that. I was just fucking around, just being a stupid kid. Man, I could tell he wanted to hit me, but I think I was at the point where, I was in wrestling and all these sports and stuff. Hitting me wouldn't be the best idea for him. I hit him back and leave his ass out there. But man, we had so much fun out there on that Republican River. That was my playground as a kid, man. Just fishing, and the Army used that river to do training. They did a lot of live fire on there, so we would find unexploded ordnance, bullets. This is what they said. Somebody said they found a mounted 30 caliber machine gun. Man, I don't know. I mean, military, everything is like accounted for. I do know people found grenades, that was for sure. And behind the school, they had at Ware Elementary School, they had dug foxholes in the trenches and stuff. And they would practice their maneuvers in the foxholes and stuff. And man, we found everything out there. Bullets and guns and grenades, mortar rounds. These kids are getting killed because we're playing with this shit. We built so many forts out there. That was my whole childhood was behind that school. It wasn't direct. We had to walk a ways to get to it. Moon Lake Trail. Moon Lake was another training ground. It was a training ground for a long time. And then they turned it into like a Boy Scout campground, and then it just eventually became a recreational facility. Yeah. A lot of crazy memories from that place. Me and my little brother swinging on the rope swing tied up in a tree out to this little, I don't know what it was, man. Was it like a creek that flowed into Moon Lake? And we were swinging on this swing all damn day long, laughing, Jeremiah, my youngest brother, swings out there, falls into the water, and just starts screaming. And I'm like, probably hurt himself or whatever. Pull him out of the water, and he's bleeding everywhere. And he cut his foot, on the bottom of his foot, so bad. I couldn't believe how much blood he was losing. So I did my little first aid thing. But I knew he wasn't going to make it home if we had to walk home. So we were riding our bikes, but he couldn't ride his bike. So I ran up to this soldier. It was a woman. I don't know what she was out there. I don't know what she was doing. And I said, "Hey, my brother's hurting real bad. We gotta take him to the hospital." We picked him up, put him in the car, and she took him to the hospital. And I rode my bike and carried his bike on my back all the way home. Now this is through the woods. It wasn't an easy bike ride. This, if you know Fort Riley, it is on a hill. I mean, people say, "Oh, I walk 2 miles to school, uphill, downhill, both ways, whatever." This was that place. We lived on Custard Hill, and I rode my bike with Jeremiah's bike on my back up the hill. And I got home, and I said, "Hey, Jeremiah's super hurt." Some lady took him to the hospital, and they went there. He spent a couple days in the hospital over that. And he got blood transfusion. He's fucked up with that one. Jeremiah was always getting hurt the most out of all of them. Him and Lori, my older sister, they always got hurt really bad. I got hurt too. I was always doing dumb shit. Alan didn't really get hurt too much, a little bit. But man, Jeremiah and Lori, they were magnets to get hurt. One time we were playing dodgeball in the church gymnasium. They had like a basketball court in there, and it was carpet on it. Well, I threw the ball at Jeremiah, and he put his hand up to like catch it, and I saw both bones in his arm broke, and his arm just folded back. Ooh, was gross. I gotta remind him of that one. Well, we used to get in trouble all the time. There was a little back room in this church. It was empty. There was nothing in the room, and we would go in there, a couple of boys, turn the light off, and start wrestling. There were no windows in this room, so it's pitch black, and we'd wrestle in the dark. And one day we got caught. We were laughing and shit in there. All of a sudden the door busts open, and it's like the bishop of the church. "What are y'all doing in here? It's Sunday." Oh. And we were supposed to be in class. Man. Me and Jeremiah in church. Come on. That was some of the funniest things. That's my childhood. Me and my little brother in church. I feel like calling him up and telling him about some of that stuff. We did not abide by the church rules. It always seemed like if there was a place where you were supposed to be serious and not joke around, that was the place that me and Jeremiah were going to joke around the hardest at. And just cutting up. Jeremiah got in trouble for the first time. He was in the 4th grade. First big time he got in trouble. Now, I don't know how we got it, but me and him, I would probably stole. He had some beech nut chewing tobacco. And this shit was gross, man. I don't know why we were just doing it to do it, I guess. He takes it to school and tries to sell it to another 4th grader. They got caught. So, yeah. After that, a 4th grader selling chewing tobacco. And then one day in the cafeteria, supposed to have lunch, we're sitting there, and Miss Davis comes up. Now, Miss Davis was the sweetest teacher in that school. So kind, very soft-spoken, and I mean, everybody loved Miss Davis. Jeremiah goes up to her and says, Miss Davis, now, there was a commercial back in the day that said it was ephedrine. I got a headache this big, and it's got ephedrine written all over it. Well, Jeremiah said, I got an erection this big. Yeah, he got kicked out of, I don't know, he got suspended from school. I got an erection this big. Oh, man. All of us kids were all silly all the time. We had to be. Our home life sucked so bad. It was just depressing at home. There was nothing fun at home. We would get beat at, yelled at. My dad would come home drunk, sit us down on the wall. Just have to sit there for hours and hours. That was... He liked to mentally torture us. He still does it. Habitual asshole. That's why I don't want him in my life no more, is because he brings back the negativity. I just can't have it in my life no more. Can't do it.
Continue on I-44.
like I'm done for the day.